Hello, it's Jared, and I'm just here to talk to you about a movie I saw this past Sunday. Manchester by the Sea, starring Casey Affleck, Michelle Williams, and directed by Kenneth Lonergan. Um, I think it's one of the best films of 2016. It it's very well made. The acting, particularly, I think, is just fantastic. It's just amazing. I've often thought Casey, between him and Ben, was the better actor, and I feel this movie demonstrates that point that I've often maintained. Not that Ben is a bad actor. No, he's very good, but he's really great at directing movies. Casey's really great at acting. And, it's a very sad movie, but it's good too. Casey Affleck plays a character named Lee Chandler, whose brother dies, and he has to take care of his nephew. The thing is that he's really just stay in Manchester, and he moved to Boston some years back, and we see through flashbacks exactly why he moved. I don't want to really get into that a whole lot because it could be a spoiler of sorts. However, at the same time, it would kind of give some sort of clarity. So, I guess it'd be like me just saying, just see the movie. But I think people should see this movie. I feel word of mouth is going around with this, and I say that because I haven't seen a lot of commercials for this movie on TV or a lot of advertisements. Like if you're on YouTube or something, there's not a lot of places that I've seen, at least, which kind of like promotes Manchester by the Sea. Except maybe IMDb. But if you don't go to IMDb a lot, you won't really see it. But I kind of gave a vague description of the movie, but I feel like if I go any more details with it, it's just I could potentially spoil it for people, and I don't really want to do that unless a movie has been out that people have seen. For the movies of the past I've talked about in detail, like Foxcatcher, for instance, or Star Wars. That is a better example. People have seen Star Wars. Most people have seen the Star Wars movies, so you can just really give your take on why you like them. I love them. I love this movie. I loved this movie. It was very sad, but it was very good too. I've already made that point, but it's a movie I feel should be seen. There are other movies I'm interested in seeing too. Hacksaw Ridge is probably on the top of my list of seeing movies at the moment. I don't know if I'll get to see it soon, but I would like to. Other movies I'm interested in seeing are La La Land. I'm not a huge musical guy. I think I've said that before here on this channel, but if I haven't, I'm not huge into musicals. There are musicals I do like, but overall as a whole, like genre itself, I kind of meh. I mean, I like classics like Singing in the Rain, but my favorite musical, I would say, is All That Jazz. But then again, I like Roy Scheider. He's great. It's Chief Brody. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Chief Brody. Um, I do like Les Miserables and Moulin Rouge. The Moulin Rouge I watched because I like Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman. And I kind of had heard about that movie a little bit here and there. So I just watched it one day and I liked it. In La La Land, Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. Ryan Gosling's a very good actor. Emma Stone's a very good actress. It's made by the guy who made Whiplash, and that was a great movie. Um, but yeah, La La Land, it intrigues me. Another movie I'm interested in seeing is Fences, which is based on a play. It's directed, produced, and stars Denzel Washington. And just from the trailers, this looks really good. And why am I mentioning those other movies? Well, it's award time, and that time of year where it's time to go get those awards and nominations. Manchester by the Sea has received some awards. It won Best Actor and tied Best Actor for Casey Affleck and Best Original Screenplay, which it tied with La La Land at the Critics' Choice Awards. And I would like to see Casey Affleck receive an Academy Award. Not just an Academy Award nomination. His performance is just amazing. And really the only other performance I've really said about wanting to see receive an award was Steve Carell in Foxcatcher. I thought that was such an amazing performance that, when you feel that way, you want to see that person receive an award that you feel they deserve. He lost, however. He lost to Eddie Redmayne in The Theory of Everything, who was really, really good. So that was a situation where, on one hand, yes, I was disappointed. In a way, I guess, I still feel Carell's performance that year was the best, in my opinion. So I guess in some way, I kind of do feel somewhat disappointed he didn't win. But, Eddie Redmayne was just amazing in that movie. That I'm just like, at least he lost to somebody who was really good that year, as opposed to winning or losing against somebody where you're just left scratching your head as to, really, that he lost to that guy in that movie. That wasn't the case that year. But, it looks like there could be a very good race. Andrew Garfield could be a Academy Award nominee this year for Hacksaw Ridge. Denzel Washington could get nominated. Ryan Gosling could get nominated for La La Land. And another person I've heard talk is Tom Hanks for Sully. And that movie is just amazing too. His performance is really well done. I guess those 5 would be my picks for Best Actor. And I would like to see Casey Affleck win, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, you don't want to really speak too soon, and I guess it could be looked at that I am, but I guess at this point, I just like to see him get nominated. I like to see him get nominated because, he gave a terrific performance, and so did everybody in this movie. Michelle Williams was really great. I will say, though, she's not in the movie as much as you might think. She plays Casey Affleck's character's ex-wife, which we'll see them when they're married, and then you'll basically understand why they get divorced. So, she could get nominated for an Oscar for supporting actress this year. She's been nominated for a Critics' Choice Award and a Golden Globe. Casey Affleck is nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Drama. The film is nominated for Best Picture, Director, and Screenplay as well. An interesting thing is Matt Damon was supposed to play the main character in this film. He was supposed to direct it. Apparently, I've watched some interviews with Matt Damon. Apparently, early on, John Krasinski was actually going to, at one point, play the lead. But things happened and that didn't, that obviously didn't occur. So then Matt Damon was going to play the lead and then direct and produce. Krasinski and Damon are producers, although Krasinski is an executive producer. So if this film gets nominated for an Academy Award, Damon will get nominated for Best Picture. He has an Oscar for Good Will Hunting for writing it with Ben Affleck. I would have liked to have seen him win Best Actor that year, but that's another topic for another time. But yeah, I do feel this film is Best Picture worthy. It has that caliber, and not just like, oh, it's purely made for awards. In a way, yeah, it is, but at the same time, I feel there was a great deal of love and care put into this movie that it just wasn't made for just awards. Like, I could make a movie for awards. Like, I could write a script for that kind of thing. I've seen what gets award nominations and even wins. At least nominations, A win's not a guarantee, but still. But seeing the choices of the nominees and winners, you can kind of look at those movies and determine kind of a formula for that. But yet, it's a little early at this moment, but hey, I would just like to, I have to say, the only person I actually ever kind of called an Oscar for a winning was Christian Bale in The Fighter, because I'm like, even before I even saw that, just the trailers, and I was going to see it, my mother and I were going to see it, because I go see movies with my mom, because in my family, we love movies. I don't really care. I told my mom, this is a movie that's probably going to make you cry, but there's moments where I could see my mom crying. And it's a very heartfelt movie, And just a heads up, if you cry during movies, you may cry during this, but no. I was just awestruck by the film. It was so well made, and it's just. But yeah, anyway, back to what I was saying. Before I even saw The Fighter, I did just before the Oscars, because for whatever reason, didn't go to the theater to see it. This is when I was 16, 2010. We talked about going to see it, but we can't determine why we never did. It's one of those things where there was no excuse, but we just didn't. We watched it on like Blu-ray, and it was fantastic. Particularly him. I told Mom, that's the kind of performance that deserves an Academy Award. And that was his first nomination and win. And for someone like Christian Bale, you would have thought he would have had some nominations and maybe even a win at that point. But he hadn't. And That's okay. He won, and well, I wish he would. He's the kind of actor who I would like to see him have more Oscars under his belt, as well as nominations. But then again, I'm like, there's so many people that don't have Oscars, let alone are nominated. Ewan McGregor, who I feel is a fantastic actor, has never been nominated for even one Oscar, nor has Steve Buscemi, or John Goodman, or Isabella Rossellini. I know I just kind of screwed that name up, but I know the woman in Blue Velvet, Isabella Rossellini. Yeah, that's her name. Yeah, maybe I didn't screw it up, but it just sounded weird coming out of my mouth. But there's a lot of people who don't have Oscar nominations, and you would think they would have at least one nomination, if not a win. Look how long it took Gary Oldman to get nominated for an Oscar. And Casey Affleck has been nominated once before for the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. That was a great performance. Though I would have chosen Tom Wilkinson to win the Oscar that year instead of Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men. Not that No Country for Old Men is a bad movie. It's very good, but I felt Wilkinson's performance, in my opinion, was superior. You can agree or disagree with that, but and Michelle Williams has been nominated for 3 Oscars so far. First for supporting actress for Brokeback Mountain, and then for Best Actress for Blue Valentine, and then My Week with Maryland. And this could be her 4th nomination. Viola Davis is in Fences, and she won a Critics' Choice Awards, and from what I've heard, that's a great performance. And I like Viola Davis. I'm like, she could win. I kind of want it to be either of those two myself, but whereas Best Actor, I kind of like to see Casey win, because he's a very underrated actor. He gets overshadowed by his brother, though then again, his brother has done a lot bigger films than Casey has done, and he's also a very good and established writer, director, producer, aside as being an actor. And Casey has directed and wrote some stuff before, but nothing of truly of note. Where like Ben has Argo, won Best Picture. Casey hasn't directed his Argo. Of notable direction films of his, but if that makes sense. But the director of the film writes a lot of plays. He also wrote a lot of movies. This is like his 3rd film. And he wrote Gangs of New York, amongst others. But, I like Damien Chazelle. I haven't seen La La Land, but I'm like kind of torn between La La Land and Manchester by the Sea for Best Screenplay, because I kind of want Mel Gibson to win Best Director for Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge. I think I've got Shawshank Redemption on the brain too. I like Mel Gibson. He's a very good actor. He's a very good director. And yes, he said stuff that he probably shouldn't, but he's had alcohol problems as well as anger problems. And with what I've read about the guy is true. He's obviously gotten past all that. And Hollywood kind of still seems to think it's a good idea to kind of hold what he said when drunk and having an argument with his wife against him. Sometimes things happen that you say you're sorry and you know don't wish you could take it back, but you can't. But that works for some people, but then some people it doesn't. But Manchester by the Sea was an amazing movie, and I know I kind of talked about a lot of other things too, but it kind of has to do with award season, which is now, and yeah, that's really pretty much it. Fantastic movie, fantastic performances, great writing and direction. It would have been interesting to see John Krasinski or Matt Damon as Lee Chandler, but now I can't see anybody but Casey Affleck. Sure, it would have been interesting at a time, but I'm happy with that choice. And he's a very good actor, and that's really all I have to say about Manchester by the Sea. It's a great film, in my opinion. It's very sad, so if you go see it, be prepared for that. I don't cry during movies, so I had no problem. But if you do, just be warned and bring tissues, maybe. Also, another thing I want to say is when I went to see it in the theater, there was a decent amount of older people that could be in their senior citizen, like the senior citizens. I feel like word of mouth has really gotten to this movie, where people hear about it and they're just going to see it, because they heard about it. And I remember walking out of the theater, and a woman asked what movie I came out of, and I told her. She asked if I liked it, and I said I did, because she said, "Oh, good, because that's the movie I'm going to see." And I hope this movie does very well. It seems it already has, but I hope it continues to do well, because I feel it's a movie that deserves it. I like to see this movie get more awards, particularly for Casey Affleck, but if the film could win screenplay and supporting actress as well, and possibly best direct or picture, because I haven't seen some of those other movies that I've mentioned, but kind of want to. So best picture could be a maybe. I would like to see that happen. Best actor for sure. Screenplays between Manchester by the Sea and La La Land for me, and then also supporting actors for Viola Davis or Michelle Williams, and best director if I want Mel Gibson to win. And, yeah, best picture. Usually director goes hand in hand. Not always, but sometimes what the overall best movie is might not be the best directed film of the year. So at this moment, I feel it's up there, worthy of getting nominated. Winning, until I see some of those other movies, Hacksaw Ridge, La La Land, or Fences, or anything of the others that could be considered to be nominated, I'm kind of on the fence. And pun wasn't intended, but hey, if you wanted to make it so, you can. That's all I have to say. Bye.